Hello, and welcome back to the Spiderlair. I'm Spider, of course, and today I've got a couple more Valentines Demon speed draws for you. I'm very happy to announce that you can now purchase a set for yourself. Look at them. Oh, so majestic. Oh, there's me showing them off. Look how excited I am. Anyway, I'll have that link down below for anyone interested. And for those of you fellow broke folks, worry not. I offer a free gift to you in the form of self-love affirmations. Like many, I've struggled with depressive bouts of self-loathing in the past, and, it's an ongoing journey, but I have faith. Definitely gotten a lot better, so I would love to share some of the strategies I've used to counteract negative self-talk. Personally, I like to use I statements as I find them more empowering. It's a little nerdy to kind of say these things to yourself, but I promise it works. I have 14 in particular to share that have helped me the most. And 14, Valentine's Day, staying on theme, love, hearts, all that. And a big disclaimer that if these don't work for you, no worries. This is just what worked for me. You are free to toss them aside, no harm, no foul, if they don't resonate with you. And that being said, let's get to the first affirmation I use to inspire self-love. Number 1, I do not calculate my worth based on the validation of others. Now, as I've said many times before, even folks with tons of friends, likes, subscribers, money can all wallow in self-loathing. Obviously, humans have belonging needs, so it's perfectly natural to desire community. All humans are inherently deserving of community. It's just when we deem ourselves worthless upon any criticism or rejection, where that innate desire for acceptance can sort of twist into harmful narratives about ourselves. And in order to avoid this quagmire, we can aim to internalize the next I statement, which is number 2. I am enough. Again, pretty cheesy, but it basically just means that you don't have to do anything extra to be deserving of love and respect. Wherever you are currently at is a fine place to start loving yourself. I promise. Because love just it doesn't have to be earned. In fact, I would go as far as to say if love isn't given unconditionally, then it's miscommunication at best and, manipulation, I suppose, at worst. Whenever I find myself devalued by someone, especially someone who claims to love me, I use this next I statement to empower myself. Number 3, I am the only person in charge of my emotional state. Okay, it sounds counterintuitive, but hear me out. Obviously, words and actions of other people can trigger any number of emotional responses, but your feelings that arise from that are ultimately your responsibility, which isn't meant to sound accusatory. Obviously, everybody needs to hold themselves accountable when their actions are ethically questionable, but this statement is actually meant to be freeing, as in things don't happen to you. You are in control of analyzing and organizing your own emotional responses to things that happen. And I promise you, your intuition is constantly sending you direct signals to help you process stimuli so that you can best decide what to do next. Which brings us to the next I statement. Number 4, I am the only person in charge of my actions. Powerful, right? So it's one of the few things in your control, but oh boy, is it a powerful ability. Integrity is kind of OP when it comes to improving your self-love. So every time you choose care over punishment or anger, acting out or harm, you're basically leveling up your self-care stats. Kind of takes care of everyone involved, you know? That being said, there's no way to ensure your actions won't cause unintentional harm. So in those instances, you can remind yourself of number 5. I am not in charge of other people's emotional state. No more than they're in charge of yours, right? And like, obviously there's a difference between choosing words carefully to mitigate unintentional harm and just straight up emotional manipulation. So even if it's in a soothing way, taking on that kind of pseudo parental role of regulating someone else's emotion is pretty messed up. You can't tell somebody how they feel, even if you believe they shouldn't feel that way, like wholeheartedly. That leads us to other things that are wildly out of your lane. Number 6, I don't assume the motivations of others. If you want to know how someone feels about something, then you ask them directly. Now, if they're unwilling to communicate with you, that's not on you. You did your diligence. But respecting the boundaries of yourself and others are critical when it comes to cultivating self-love. Not to suggest that you should beat yourself up anytime you misstep. Failing is a part of learning. Which brings us to number 7. I forgive myself for my mistakes. The sooner you give yourself permission to do so, the sooner you'll level up. Punishing yourself for learning something new is cruel and pretty ineffective. Because of, here, number 8. I can't hate myself into loving myself. If you overly chastise yourself when you make a mistake, or you only self-love or use self-love or see self-love as a reward for reaching a goal, then you're delaying your happiness for no reason. You can love yourself now, like I promise. But I get that intrusive thoughts are going to do what they do. Luckily, we got number 9. I am more than my thoughts. Right? So our little primate monkey brains, we're given the ability to think in abstracts. Very powerful thing. But we are still animals with physical bodies. And we're both the higher version of ourselves, navigating the little video game avatar and the avatar. Unfortunately, I still struggle with this one. So I'm not only like the little rat in the maze, but also the scientist hovering above the maze. You know, studying the rat, interpreting all the acquired data from doing so. It's hard to remember that I'm both. So I implore you to do so. You're not just your thoughts, your feelings, the breaths you take, your fears, your senses, your atoms, your Joe Mama jokes and movements, like all those things are you. But if you can't seem to pry yourself from those pesky negative thoughts, I've got number 10 for you. Number 10. I am inherently worthy of love because every human being is inherently worthy of love. So sometimes emotions feel so deeply personal that you can't imagine anyone relating. And this can make you feel like an outsider, as if you're a pariah that's somehow exempt from humanity, some distant alien who can merely spectate and pontificate on what it must be like to be like everyone else. But the truth is that your experiences are integral to the human experience. Your feelings are a thread in the fabric of the human condition, tightly woven in alongside the countless lives that are, the lives that have been, the lives that will be. You're all humans, and all humans are you. All equally deserving of love. Still feeling emo about it? It's okay. The next one has your back. Number 11. I do not judge my feelings. You can feel them, you can acknowledge them, analyze them, and help you decipher your own needs and desires. I mean, you can even let go of them once they're processed. But sending yourself down an unnecessary shame spiral is a waste of energy. I can tell you firsthand. Feelings are neither good nor bad. They just are. So you can let yourself off the hook with number 12. I am doing the best with what I've got. When in doubt, you should always give yourself the benefit of the doubt. I'm willing to bet that you do it for other people, so I think you can do it for yourself too. And if you don't become a level 100 self-love wizard overnight, don't worry. You might be in the thick of it now, but self-hatred doesn't have to last forever. I'm a shining example of that. But I still struggle with object permanence myself. So I find the next one really helpful. Number 13. I accept the fact that myself and others are constantly changing. Change is just the natural way of things. We all cycle through many evolutions and iterations in our lives. And who you are right now is like a pin on an ever unfolding timeline. Just one little moment picked out from the rest of them. You're just ever morphing, ever evolving, in a state of goo inside a cocoon and a butterfly, and then back and forth 100 times, throughout the course of your life. And every moment is pregnant with possibility, as I like to think. Anything can happen. Just because you're feeling down right now, it doesn't mean you will forever. And finally, my favorite I statement is number 14. I don't need anyone's permission to start doing what makes me happy. I mean, unless murder makes you happy, but I guess, I don't know, you get the idea. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope some of these I statements help you reframe and reorient in times of self-loathing. Again, they do for me. Who knows? In case you would like to refer back to them, I have reiterated the 14 I statements below and kind of marked their little timestamp. And just remember, no matter what happens this Valentine's Day or just any day really, love is everywhere. You're literally made of love, whether you think so or not. So just allow yourself to receive it. I'm not asking. And on that threateningly positive note, goodbye.